It's no secret by now that nobody's pleased with Nintendo's steep price tag of $80 to $90 that they attach to the upcoming Mario Kart World game debuting for the Nintendo Switch 2 later this year. The fans have spoken out against Nintendo and their displeasure with their pricing on all forms of media. As I'm watching the meltdowns happen over the last couple days, which are justified, I'm just sitting back laughing. Recently, Nintendo came out and doubled down on their pricing and publicly stated that it's justified. But let's be real. Did anybody not see that coming? One of Nintendo's VPs recently said in a sit-down with IGN that, quote, "I would say it's less about the strategy of pricing Mario Kart World. It's more just whenever we look at a given game, we just look at what is the experience and what's the content and what's the value. This game is a game that is so big and so vast, and you will find so many little things in it to discover. And there's still some other secrets remaining that I think as people end up buying and playing the game, they're going to find this to be probably the richest Mario Kart experience they've ever had." I think that's complete bullshit. There's been plenty of games over different platforms that are much bigger, much richer, much more complex than Mario Kart. Any Red Dead Redemption, damn near any Grand Theft Auto. Hell, your own game. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Elder Scrolls. The list goes on. Again, after Nintendo's response to the backlash, I continue to chuckle. Because I know Nintendo. And Nintendo knows Nintendo. And if Nintendo knows Nintendo, then Nintendo knows its fans. They know that when it comes to some of their specific franchises, the Marios, the Pokemons, the Zeldas, Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing, etc., people will flock by the masses to buy them, no matter what. This is what history has shown us. In terms of Nintendo getting away with consumers' money, it's nothing new. They have been doing this for years. It may not be as direct as an $80 to $90 price tag for a game sometimes, but also in cases like selling unfinished games, unpolished games for full price. The fans scream and rant about how much it sucks, but Nintendo knows our wallets do the talking at the end of the day. Scream on social media all you want, but by showing that we are still willing to go out and purchase the game regardless, they will continue to get away with doing the same thing over and over again. Less effort, shortcuts, unpolished, glitchy, low optimization, gimmicky games, you name it. Look at Pokemon, for example. Pokemon alone has cost Nintendo an earful of backlash recently, but ironically, a pocketful of cash at the same time. I'm not even getting into Nintendo charging customers money for DLC that drops within a year of the game's launch, a game that felt unfinished at that. Disgusting. Bottom line, folks, the only way to get Nintendo to fold from consumer pressure is to stop buying the product. You have to make their wallets hurt.
Say what?
If you thought this was going to be some Sonic the Hedgehog movie BS, where you can bully Nintendo into doing things differently, that is not the case. Nintendo does the bullying. Nintendo is classically, arguably, the most bullish and stubborn company out there. And honestly, it has served them well based on their success. This is the real definition of classic Nintendo. Nintendo has the fans wrapped around their little fingers, consistently pushing out the same games over several systems. Sometimes they offer upgraded graphics and slight changes to gameplay mechanics, and other times they are giving you the same exact game and people will keep buying it over and over and over again. It's slick, because they know people will get rid of the older console for the new one or permanently shelve it. And there may be some virtual console games they don't want to part with, so they buy it again. And these games can't be transferred from console to console. How many of you have purchased the original Wind Waker on GameCube? Raise your hand. How many of you have purchased the Wind Waker HD remake on Wii U? The few of you that had a Wii U. How many of you will purchase the original standard definition Wind Waker on Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube store? Yeah, kiss my ass, Nintendo. I know people that have multiple Ocarina of Time games, multiple Majora's Mask games, multiple Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, you name it. And soon they will have multiple Breath of the Wilds and multiple Tears of the Kingdom. Granted, with a smaller price tag if you can show that you've already purchased the game. Have a save file. Nintendo is punching everyone in their nostalgic guts regardless. Look at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Costs $60. If you purchase both Fighter Pass 1 and 2 for almost all the DLC for $65, you would have spent $115 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as a whole. Think about that. And I said almost all the DLC because that doesn't include Piranha Plant as a playable character. So you can add on a few more dollars for that. Well, damn. I've spent about $120 on Smash Brothers. When you start to think about all the other BS Nintendo has pushed out to consumers in very different ways, you start to realize that that $80 to $90 price tag isn't the worst thing they've done. And that's not me validating or trying to justify it at all. I think it's bullshit, just like everything else Nintendo has done in the past. God forbid if down the line they tried to release extra DLC riders for Mario Kart World for $5 a pop and try to sell you the extra tracks and music that come with said characters. Then wait another 6 years, then they're going to come out with Mario Kart World Ultimate with more tracks from Mario Kart 8, with more courses, riders, and music. And oh my god, a special mystery rider, Fox McCloud, $100. Crazy part is, they would have already been sitting on all that for years, but waiting for the optimal time to push the go button. Like I said, this is the real definition of classic Nintendo. Bottom line, in mass unison, speak with your wallets. It's the only way to make change. Money makes the world go round, so you gotta hit them where it hurts. That's all I gotta say about it. That's a wrap for today's episode. I appreciate each and every one of you for stepping in, showing your love, showing your support, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now I could sit here and smack you all around with the generic like, comment, subscribe BS, but nobody gives a damn about that. So do whatever the hell you want to do, because you're going to do it anyway. Now, I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. I am Boo, and I am out.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.